Hello, this is John Harrigan, Qigong master and founder of the website immortalnow.com, where we teach the secret to immortality. In this video, we're going to do a short guided meditation and then discuss the book Qigong and Spiritual Growth. Here we go for the guided meditation for relaxation, calm, and ease, to get us into our core, feeling our strength, our love, and our soul. Close your eyes. Find a relaxing place to sit if you can. If you can't, just listen to the guided meditation and go along with it as you can. Just listening, even in your car, as you're aware and driving home, can be of help to you. Here we go. Eyes closed. With your eyes closed, focus down to the tip of your nose. From the tip of your nose, imagine a ruby red arc down to your heart. Eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc. Eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc. Eyes shut, focus with the tip of your nose, ruby red arc to your heart. Hold that visualization for a bit. Hold that visualization. If you can't hold it, just know what it is. Just in your mind, go eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed the whole time. Eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc. Observe your breath. Don't control it. Don't try to breathe deeply. Don't control anything about your breath. Just observe your breath. Eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc. You're relaxing. You're going deep into a relaxed, calm, compassionate state of ease and love. Eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc. Eyes to nose, nose to heart. We're observing our breath, we're not controlling it. The idea in these exercises is that we don't control a thing. Eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc. Now let your attention, with your eyes closed, fall down your body to your feet and see your feet, visualize your feet rooted deeply into the earth. Maybe about 10 feet, like a tree. Like a tree is rooted into the earth. Eyes shut, eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc. Our feet rooted into the earth. Observing our breath. Your body knows the perfect breath, the immortal breath to breathe. You don't have to invent it. You don't have to control your breath and do it the right way. Your body knows how to breathe. Just let go a little bit. And we let go by simply observing our breath and not controlling it. And there's a metaphor there for all of life. We take part in life, do what we must, yet we can observe life and not react to what's going on. Our reactions are what take us into hardship, calamity, and death. When we step back and observe life from our immortal core, when we then act from our immortal core, we don't activate and we don't take part in the force of death. When we are not acting as a predator, when we're not harming or supporting harm in our lives, death can't really act upon us so easily. Hardship doesn't come so quickly. When difficult times and difficult things do happen to us, we can still be at peace, at ease, calm, eternal in our core, alive in our body, in our cells, but not reacting to the things in life that take us away from who we are, that take us away from our happiness, our bliss, our soul. Eyes to nose, nose to heart in a ruby red arc, feet to ground. Eyes to nose, nose to heart. Feet to ground. observing that perfect and easy breath. We're now in a Qigong state. Observe your breath, eyes closed, relax, be at ease. Qigong. Be at ease. We're finding our eternal core, our physical eternal core, our physical eternal self. No other worlds but this world, no other place but where we are this moment, right now. We are the immortal self whom we are. Eyes to nose, nose to heart, in a ruby red arc, feet to ground. Eyes to nose, nose to heart, in a ruby red arc, feet to ground, observing our breath. Not forcing our breath, not trying to breathe deeply. We are observing and letting the eternal breath wired into our body and brain, hardwired into our body and brain, letting that eternal breath come forth, the breath of who we really truly are. Eyes to nose, nose to heart, nose to heart, in a ruby red arc, feet to ground, observing your breath at ease and calm, in love and life, at peace and strength. The real strength is not, oh, I'm strong, yeehaw. The real strength is just having our eternal presence of mind. When we have that eternal self in the world, we don't need strength. We have everything we need. We have who we are. And that's our strength. It's a strength that is actually a perfect ease, a perfect peace. And in that perfect peace, that perfect ease, that compassion, love, and goodness of the world, of ourselves, the idea itself of strength actually doesn't make any sense because strength isn't needed. We're not opposed to anything in our eternal state, physical state. We're not opposed to anything. There's no fight or opposition in our body. There's no death in us. So there's no need for strength. We're just at ease as our perfect selves in love and life. But I do use the word strength to kind of bring you into the core of who you are. It may take a little will, a little practice, a little discipline. It certainly does for me and everyone I know. And that kind of requires some worldly strength. We have to kind of act in opposition to the part of us that doesn't want to meditate, that doesn't want to feel our core, be in love, and give to the world. You're relaxed, at ease, eyes to nose, nose to heart, in a ruby red arc. Feet to ground, at ease, in love, the presence of eternal love and life within us, every cell, every organ. In the world, we're at peace, alive, and perfect as who we are together. We're connected within ourselves. We're connected to the external world. We're connected to each other in a perfect, lovely way of ease, compassion, and life. Of ease, compassion, and life, grounded to the earth. Immortality, we teach the secret to immortality. Immortality is being grounded, connected fully and completely within ourselves, connected to the world. And just stay in a Qigong state as I continue to talk. Eyes to nose, nose to heart, feet to ground. You are connected, you're healing, you're coming forth as yourself. You're at peace with the world, not in conflict, not in anger, not in rage, not in fear, but protected and well, in love and goodness and kind. Eyes to nose, nose to heart, feet to ground. We're at peace. Immortal now. Immortalnow.com. Our website, The Secret to Immortality, is what we're doing right now. Eyes to nose, nose to heart, feet to ground, a simple Qigong exercise, warm up you can do throughout the day to get calm and grounded and find your soul. We're in a Qigong state right now. Let's do a little closing for that Qigong state. Rub your hands together, collecting Qi in a way, and if your hands and face are clean, rub your face, or just imagine you're rubbing your face and your eyes and your mouth. Qi. Comb your hair. Stimulate the acupuncture points in your ears. Stimulate the acupuncture points on your scalp, in your ears. Do a Qigong pat down 3 times, and that's all we'll do for now. We've finished our Qigong exercise. We did eyes to nose, nose to heart, feet to ground, and we're finished that exercise now, but we're in a Qigong state. And what's the Qigong state? As you do this again and again, it feels grounded, strong as who you are, at ease, at peace. And when we're at ease and in that peace, we can begin to feel our core, our soul. As we're in that peace, as we're in that love, we can feel our core, our peace, our soul, the immortal center of who we are, and slowly understand that that perfect eternal self is literally who we are in the body. We suggest at immortalnow.com, we suggest that we're born to live forever, ever. We undo that natural human immortality by connecting to a world of discord, of predation, of hardship, death, and harm. We kind of fracture ourselves, disconnect ourselves, so we aren't able to keep living eventually. So we're not able to experience our perfect selves. And to get to that perfect self, I wrote this book, Qigong and Spiritual Growth. I'm just going to read a bit from it. The book is designed to be inspirational, to get you to a Qigong state like we just did in that exercise. Every chapter, I'm going to start at the first chapter here. Every chapter has an image, a photograph, and a lot of these photographs are by my oldest sister of 3, Patricia. She was a professional photographer. Chapter 1 is called Absolute Peace. 1, Absolute Peace. And there's a beautiful black and white of a sunset. And underneath that, the quote underneath that photograph says, "Peace is the core of who we are." So if you have this book in front of you, or just go along with me now, think of a beautiful, perfect sunset. A beautiful, perfect sunset. And see the peace of that sunset. So many of us, including me, we work in a building. I'm doing this in a building, not outdoors, but I'll do some videos outdoors for you later. We're in a building, so we can't really see nature. We are a part of nature. And when we're not living in nature, we're not looking at nature, we become a bit disconnected, a bit stressed and uncomfortable, and we may not even be aware of that or know why. If you live in a big city, you can't get to nature that quickly, that easily. Buy some posters or photographs of natural scenes, or like maybe a sunset, and put it up on your wall and just look at it periodically. So we're into the book Qigong and Spiritual Growth that I wrote some years ago, and we're in the first chapter looking at the sunset. Beneath the sunset, it says, "Peace is the core of who we are." Peace is the core of who we are. On the next page, and you can't see that, and you're not supposed to see it, I'll read it. On the next page, and it's very simple writing. This book came through in a very simple way. It's not really the way I would normally write professionally or even in an email. Welcome to chapter 1. What this chapter has for you. 1, the path to absolute peace. Everything I'm teaching you is a path to peace, a path to your immortal core, a path to your true self. In the first chapter, number 2 of what you get, how to have bliss and love. Well, when we get to the core of who we are, what do we have? We have bliss, love, compassion, goodness. How do you get to that? We're getting to that today in this video, in this podcast. We're getting to that now in a little Qigong exercise, in my words that are coming through. What this chapter has for you, chapter 1, 3, it strengthens your spiritual core. As we find our spiritual core, the core doesn't need to be strengthened. We need to be strengthened. And as we experience our core, all of who we are physically is strengthened and activated in a perfect and immortal way. What do we get in chapter 1? We get one more thing for do Qigong for peace and love. And the Qigong in chapter 1 is very similar to what we went through in the earlier part of this video and podcast. This book is designed to be inspirational and thought-provoking, with exercises to help you build the life you want. What more could we possibly want than perfect peace, love, and bliss? When we're relaxed and calm, smiling and at ease, people respond to us better. We do better on our job. Our relationships are better. We tend to get more of what we want. And really, I suggest to you what we all want is love, acceptance, understanding, but that comes by being in contact with our soul or our core. When we have perfect love and calm, we understand ourselves, and we understand, more importantly, really, we understand other people in the world. And we can have that understanding for them by simply, more often than not, just listening to someone important in our life and showing compassion and calm by simply listening to them with a little empathy and understanding. But it's kind of hard to do that if we don't first have peace in ourselves. So what I'm teaching you, what we teach at immortalnow.com, what we've been going through in this talk today, is finding our core, finding our soul, getting connected in ourselves. When we're connected to our soul, our heart, and the better parts of our mind, we're happy, we're at peace, we're in love, and we're connected to the world. So reading a little bit more from this book, Qigong and Spiritual Growth, and there's a link to this below the podcast in the video if you want to purchase it. We have a digital version and a paperback version like this. It's not much. It's a short book. Quote, go slowly and take your time. Always we go slowly and take our time. Never in a rush. When we're in a rush, we usually outrun ourselves. We outrun our soul and we lose track of who we are. Go slowly and take your time. Contemplate each short reading in this book. As you read this book, as I'm reading to you, we're going very slowly, as you may have noticed. We're going very slowly. When you read the book, you contemplate each short reading. The exercises in the book can help you improve your life with greater strength, serenity, and calm. Your feelings, thoughts, and the world around you may change in a powerful way. The world will change in a powerful way, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. But as we get to our core, our beautiful, perfect self of love, and we feel that in each other, it's really not ourselves. As we get to our core of love and compassion, we realize and experience that in everyone. Even if the other people don't see it in themselves, we can enjoy and experience their perfect soul in the flesh, and we can have compassion and understanding for them. Delight, bliss, happiness, getting what you want. I suggest that everything we think we want in life is really first in us as bliss, as happiness, as peace. When we have everything we could possibly want within us and in the world, by connecting with love, compassion, and our soul. It doesn't really matter what physical things we may have or not have. I promise you, I've lived both ways of having plenty and having very little. Your feelings, thoughts, and the world around you may change in a powerful way as you do the work, as you do a little Qigong, as you listen to our lectures, as you read what we have in our blogs, as you practice Qigong, mindfulness for immortality. And the third part is coaching, immortality coaching. The secret to immortality that we teach at our website, immortalnow.com, is 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. 3 parts. The first part is mindfulness for immortality, where we become mindful and attentive to how we think, speak, and act. The second part is Qigong for lasting life that we just did earlier in this talk. And the third part is immortality coaching that comes along a little later as you've done some work and are ready to make a commitment to this way of life for yourself. So I'll read the second paragraph in the book. That's the back. In the book, Qigong and Spiritual Growth. And again, there's a link to this book. It's on our website, always. Chapter 1 is composed of 8 short readings. Read each one and pause, relax, and let the meaning come to you. We're going to start doing some readings right now. Relax and let the meaning come to you of each short reading. Let the power of every sentence speak. Allow your feelings and thoughts to respond. So in this book, we just read a little bit, anywhere in the book. You can pick up the book anytime, any place, anywhere. You read it, a short reading, and then contemplate, relax. In this chapter, there's an exercise, Qigong for peace and love, very similar to what we've done today already. If practiced daily, the exercise can produce remarkable results. Try it. So go back to the beginning of this talk and do the exercise again and again there. Again and again. And you'll get somewhere with it, I promise you, if you keep doing it. So the first reading in this chapter, now we're going into what's called the readings. The first reading, there are 2 little paragraphs, and we're going to read them and then just stop and pause. Quote, our perfect core, that's the heading of this reading. Our perfect core, quote, peace is our core, the best of who we are. Peace is our core, the best of who we are. Deep inside we're strong. At peace we find ourselves and know who we are. So as you read that, you would just pause, and we're doing that right now. You just pause. We'd make the reading, and then we pause. We do the reading, we read the reading. I'll read it again. Peace is our core, the best of who we are. Deep inside we're strong and good and full of love. At peace we find ourselves and know who we are. We can't really have ourselves know who we are unless we're calm and at peace. In the book, quote, at peace we find ourselves and know who we are. Quote, in all of us, there's a core that's calm and still. At this core is love, a perfect love that knows the world. At this core, at our core is love, a perfect love that knows the world. We do the readings that we've just done, and then we pause and just contemplate or read the reading again. In all of us, there's a core that's calm and still. At this core is love, a perfect love that knows the world. A perfect love that knows the world. At our core, we're calm and still. At our core, we're calm and still. We have a perfect love. I promise you, I guarantee, whether you can feel it or not, and eventually you will feel it if you don't, there is a perfect love in you as who you are. And when you find that eternal love, that core of yourself, you're connected inside to yourself. You're connected to your heart. You're connected to the better parts of your mind. You're connected to your soul. As we're connected inside, we're naturally connected to each other. As I'm connected inside, I naturally love pretty much everybody that I see, regardless of how they're acting. If somebody's acting in a difficult manner, yeah, it's hard to love them. But the more we're at peace, the more we're calm, we can be in love with ourselves, feeling love, compassion, and bliss. And we feel that we have all of that in the world. The world is no different than ourselves, than who we are. I suggest there's really no difference between the natural world and ourselves, animals, trees, the earth, and each other. When you have that bliss, that awareness of yourself that I'm taking you to, in everything we do at immortalnow.com and in these talks, we're finding our soul together so we can experience that happiness, bliss, and love. So what did we do in this talk today? We did a little Qigong, a little simple Qigong. And you'll find very simple Qigong in this book. In the first chapter, you'll find something exactly what we did in this talk today. But then there's more. There are more pages in this book, and I really suggest you get it. Even the digital version, I think it's $3. And get busy, get working with the secret to immortality. The secret to immortality is just finding yourself, your bliss, your happiness, your freedom, and living it in this world as our physical selves. And I suggest to you, when we're really in our souls, there is no death. There is no accepting death, because we feel our immortality. And we live that immortality together as we join with the world and each other in a perfect way. Mind, body, and soul, one person, one place. Heaven is on earth, I suggest. When we give up the idea of dying, suddenly life has more meaning. When we give up the idea of death, suddenly we're a lot more responsible for our lives. There's no out. I suggest you don't think of death anymore. Think of living forever. Think of a perfect body, a perfect mind, health, happiness, peace, and love. And with those thoughts today, peace be with you, love be with you, eternal life be yours. Joy, happiness, and freedom. Until we meet again. Goodbye.